The RuneScape map is split into chunks. I will restrict myself to unlocking one chunk at a time, only moving on when I've completed all of the content in my current chunks. The goal of this account is to unlock the entire map. This is Chunkman only, my one chunk at a time Iron Man. We left off last episode struggling to obtain a black kite shield drop from a lesser demon in the wizard's tower. We were going to finish this chunk and then unlock Seer's village to unlock runecrafting and construction. After receiving some comments and doing some research, it became apparent to me that lesser demons, at least the ones outside the catacombs of Korinth, do not drop black kite shields at all. The wiki ended up being wrong. They do drop mithril square shields though. I had received a few mithril square shields as loot, but since the black kite shield is marginally better, I didn't think I needed it. So I didn't telegraph the ones I had received earlier, since I have such a limited supply of law runes. So it was definitely a bit frustrating knowing that the wiki was wrong and I had wasted all of my money on fire strike casts that I didn't need. But at least now I knew that my goal had shifted. If you remember from last episode, I needed to find a way to make some money for some more casts. As I was thinking about how I was going to make some money, I decided to kill some dark wizards for some more law runes, as I only had a few left and I would need to use some at the lesser demon for telegrabs anyway. After a few dark wizard kills, I got a beginner clue. I wasn't able to complete it, but this reminded me of something that I should have done much earlier that I totally forgot, the X marks the spot quest. In the very first chunk, I was able to complete the quest about halfway, but had completely neglected the rest of the quest. Even after I unlocked the chunks necessary to complete it. It just completely slipped my mind. So I quickly finished the quest. I got the reward of an XP lamp and a beginner clue. I put the XP lamp on agility, which got me to level 5. I ended up being able to complete the new clue, but the reward was far from amazing. Anyway, I decided that for my money I would craft some jewelry. I crafted some ruby, emerald, and sapphire bracelets and alched them. I guess the trade-off from spending all that money on unnecessary runes is that I had the magic level to high alch now, so I'm glad that came in handy. While I was making the jewelry, I made some jade necklaces from the jades I got from ham members, and enchanted them so I would have a quick teleport to the wizard's tower. Alching the bracelets paid for more than enough runes to get me the mithril square shield. I got it pretty quickly. Before I could choose a new chunk though, I still had two things to do. I needed to get 40 defense to wear my new rune med helm, and I needed to train my runecrafting. In the last episode, I thought I would only need to train up to level 14 to make fire runes, but a viewer pointed out to me that I would need to get 23 to make lava runes. So I mined some essence, made some tiaras, and started runecrafting. I first crafted air runes by running between Draenor Bank and the air altar. Definitely would not have been fun to runecraft like that any longer than I needed to, so I'm very glad I unlocked the earth altar before unlocking the essence mine. I then switched to earth runes until level 14 and did fire runes until level 23. I made some lava runes and was done runecrafting. I then went to dark wizards to train my defense up to level 40. Once I had the level and equipped my rune med helm, I was ready to unlock a new chunk. Remember, we're trying to unlock construction by going to Seer's village, so the next chunk was the Eastern Camelot chunk. Here, there wasn't much for me to do other than start the Merlin's Crystal quest, so I was quickly able to unlock the Seer's village chunk. In this chunk, I was able to complete Elemental Workshop Part 1. I previously thought I'd be able to do both of the Elemental Workshop quests, but it turns out that the start of the second quest is actually at the dig site, so I wouldn't be able to do that quest. I then completed as much of Merlin's Crystal as I could. I fought Sir Mordred, got the bat bones and the black candle, and inspected the Chaos Altar. I couldn't get to the Lady of the Lake to get the Excalibur, so that's all I could do for now. After this, I had a few achievement diary tasks to do. I killed one of each elemental monster and played the organ in the church. Now I was done with the chunk. Even though I had unlocked construction, I didn't actually have to train the skill, and since I was so low on money, I decided to not train it yet. It was now time to figure out where to go next. I noticed a few quick, easy chunks that wouldn't require me to grind anything. First, I unlocked the chunk with the duel arena. Not the chunk with the bank and the waiting area, but the chunk with the actual arenas. This had no content at all, so I didn't have to do anything here. Next, I went north of the lumberyard into the wilderness. Here, there were a bunch of chunks I could get to that had absolutely no new content that I needed to grind for. In all of these chunks, the only thing new I really unlocked was mammoths. These monsters didn't actually have any new best in slot item drops, but they do have a drop of 1-dose prayer potions. This means I wouldn't have to grind for anything, but if I ever needed prayer potions in the future, I would have a way to get them. After unlocking as many easy chunks as I could, I needed to think about what to do next. Thankfully, there was a comment left on my last video that gave me the best idea for a new chunk. Mr. Disco gave me the idea to use the Falador wall to train agility from level 5 to 10. Since I had gotten 5 agility from the X marks the spot quest, I would be able to unlock the chunk with the Falador wall and make use of this. If I unlocked this chunk though, I would need to get all the way to 70 agility, since I have a level 70 shortcut in Al-Kharid unlocked. Even though this would be my longest grind yet, I had the Draenor, Varrock, and Seers Village rooftops unlocked, so it would be about as efficient as a way to train agility as I could get, and unlocking agility as early as I can on this account is a good idea. So I decided to unlock the chunk and start training agility. The Falador wall gives 1 XP when going west and 0 XP when going east. So this was definitely the slowest grind I've ever done in terms of XP per hour. Getting from level 5 to 10 took about 3 hours of just clicking on this wall. When I was finally done with the Falador wall, I went straight to Draenor and trained to 30 agility, which went by pretty quickly. At 30 agility, I went to Varrock, and I would be here all the way until level 60. I don't have the Falador or Canifis rooftops unlocked, so this would be my best rooftop until Seers. Going from level 30 to 60 is over 250,000 XP, and I averaged about 8.5k XP per hour. In the many hours I've spent training agility at Varrock, I managed to get a genie that got me to level 10 hunter and a runite bar from a mystery box. I had no idea you could get a rune bar from a mystery box. Obviously, this doesn't mean I have to do some crazy grind for 85 smithing or anything like that. This is considered a tertiary item, so I ended up just alching it for some extra money. Still, the rune bar must be pretty rare, so I was surprised to get it. Anyway, that's where the progress for this episode ends. I'm currently level 58 agility and still running across the Varrock rooftops. Before I end the video though, I want to talk a little bit about my plans for the future of this account. I want to have a bit of a long-term goal for something to unlock that would help my account progression by a lot. There's so many different chunks in the game with mithril, adamant, or rune ore, or monsters that drop mithril, adamant, or rune ores or bars. This locks me out of so much content, and obtaining a high level in mining and smithing would be so beneficial to the account. Obviously, I'm trying to find the most efficient path toward unlocking the whole map, so getting a high mining or smithing early on would be great to do. I also want to make sure that when I do the mining and smithing grind all the way to level 85, I do it in the most efficient way that I can. I think the best way for me to train these skills is at the Motherlode mine. I would get a lot of ores from getting the mining level, which I could then use to train my smithing. I don't want to just unlock Motherlode mine right away though, because the chunk with the mine also contains the entire Dwarven mine, which includes amethyst rocks among other things. So if I unlocked this chunk, I would need to get 92 mining, 85 smithing, 85 crafting, and 82 fletching. Because of these really high stat requirements, I would need to unlock efficient ways to train smithing, crafting, and fletching before unlocking this chunk. This would mean I'd want to unlock a rune axe to make fletching more efficient, Pookaguy to make banking supplies for crafting more efficient, and blast furnace to make smithing more efficient. I'm not sure what I would need to do after unlocking Keldagrim though, so unlocking blast furnace before Motherlode Mine might not actually be efficient to do, so I'll need some feedback and more research to determine which I want to do first. Regardless though, I still want Pookaguy and a rune axe before going to Motherlode Mine. Pookaguy would unlock the fishing trawler, which would mean a grind to 81 fishing and 91 cooking. To do this, I would want to unlock the Catherby fishing area so I can train these skills faster. This is a very rough plan so far, and I know there must be countless things I'm not taking into account when talking about this long-term plan. So if you guys have any ideas for what I might be missing on my way to the Motherlode Mine, or if you have any suggestions on how I can do this more efficiently, please let me know. Every single video I always learn a few things from comments that help my account go more smoothly, and I really appreciate it. Anyway, that's all for this video. As always, thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave it a like and subscribe to my channel. My brain will release some precious dopamine and you won't miss the next episode. Also, if you want to help me even more, I have a Patreon account. I don't expect anyone to give me money, but the option's there if you want to. I hope you all have a great day.